Hello everybody, welcome to After Further Review at the AFR News Desk. I'm your host, Steve Tower, and here is a look at the stories that we are following for August 4th, 2023. So, we made it to the end of the week here, and this was a week that started with me returning late from the 2023 PLAAY DOT CON. I had my first senior moment booking a flight and accidentally booked the red-eye Sunday night instead of Saturday night, but it all worked out. I got to spend an extra day with Keith and got to get in some more gaming. And then the airline, true to form, got me home even a little bit later. 3-hour delay, getting to spend overnight in the airport. Always a lot of fun, but you know, it was all worth it. So that is our lead story tonight. There have been several recaps that have gone up about the PLAAY DOT CON, and they are a lot more comprehensive than mine. I am terrible at taking pictures, so I decided I'm just going to share a little bit of some of the pictures that Keith has posted. There is a link down below to Keith's blog, and there's also a link in that blog to the James Cast sportscast that he did on his recap of the convention. So a great listen there and a great read on the blog. So I'm just going to cover my top 3 highlights of the event. So my number 3 highlight was that I got to play test a few games in various stages of developments. Welcome to Kraz, Brock, and Lee. Thank you for joining me here. Brock and Lee, I got to meet face to face at the convention. that was highlight 3A. So I got to see a playtest of Myth Mash, which is a game being developed by Sam Avalone of Play Games. And that is a game that he has had in development for a while now. I didn't actually get to play out a game, but I saw him play through a couple of them and oversee a couple of them. And I got to give a few ideas that he may or may not put into the finished product. So that was kind of neat to see. I got to play a game of Fury Stakes, a horse racing game that is in development from James Cast. We ran through a quick race. And again, I got to give a few thoughts on my games of that. So anybody that's looking for a new horse racing game, be on the lookout for that. Let's see. Battle of the Bands. Can't believe I almost forgot that. So legendary designer Mike Fitzgerald was at the convention. I believe this was his second time that he has been at the convention. Maybe the third time he's been at the convention. And he has a new game in development called Battle of the Bands. This is a card game. Oh boy, what's a good way to describe it? I'm probably not gonna do it justice. But anyways, you start out with a basic band of six musicians who are all graded in different types of music, and through the course of the game you are trying to upgrade your musicians so that they have a higher score in those various versions. The highlight of it was I think when we got to like the third round, Mike suggested that if you win a round that you need to sing a song in the chosen genre of that round. So I got to sing "Make Your Own Kind of Music" for a little bit when my band won the folk round. So that is a lot of fun. I don't know when that game is set to come out. It was still in early testing, but looks like a lot of fun. And if it comes from Mike Fitzgerald, you can assume that it's probably going to be pretty good. I got to play a game of 49 on the Turf with Grant Fines. I will speak a little bit more on that later in the show. Finally, I got to play a couple of games of the History Maker Hoops, the full play version, the long-awaited full play version of the basketball game for PLAAY.com, the extension, I guess if you will, of Highlight Maker Hoops. It has gone through several versions in playtesting, and the one that I got to see at the convention, I think that they have locked on to something there and it looks really fun. So I got to play a game that was Travis Jansen was there. He is one of the play testers for the game. So he oversaw a game that I got to roll out there at the convention. And then on my bonus day, staying in Denver, I got to play out a game with the man himself, with Keith. And we played through a whole game. And that is definitely a lot of fun. I know that full play basketball games are a sort of a divisive topic in the sports board game community, but that one definitely looks like it is very good, and hopefully it should be coming out, I'd say within 6 months, sometime early 2024 on that. So that is my number 3 highlight. My number 2 highlight of the convention was just the extra time. So the convention itself actually doesn't start until Friday, or at least this year it did not officially start until Friday. However, I arrived Wednesday morning along with several people. There is actually a picture on the blog here, on Keith's blog at the airport. And so I believe that Keith said more people were there on this on Wednesday than there were at the very first convention back in 2018. So Keith had a get-together at his house where there was a very raucous group game of Demo Derby that happened. There was a live stream going on that was set up in his kitchen / dining room. So that was just so much fun. Catch on fire chants going all around, yeah. So, and then on top of that, and then we had Thursday. So normally Thursday was the first pre-con event where we would have the barbecue at the Redstone Park behind Keith's house. But that was actually the second day of the pre-con. So then during the day, got to just do some extra gaming. We got to partake of the local restaurants, which there are a lot of great restaurants in the Highlands Ranch area, including a very good brewery that's just a couple miles away from the convention. And then just that you had time to actually sit down and chat with people. There were 20 people that were first-time attendees at the convention. So that was fantastic. And definitely the highlight of this highlight for me was one morning for breakfast. Got to sit down with a couple of gamers, one who was a first-time attendee, one who had been there, I believe it was his second time. They introduced each other. I knew both of them, and all of a sudden it hit me, and I was like, hey, I think you guys actually might live kind of near each other. And they got to talking, and not only did they live near each other, they were about 10 minutes apart. So having the extra time at the con, that was definitely a highlight for moments like that to happen. And then finally, my number 1 highlight, I call this the oohs and ahs. You really haven't experienced a play game until you hear a whole room full of people just suddenly go, oh! It's it's something you really have to experience in person to get the full appreciation for it. So highlighted by the golf tournament, which is just fantastic every year. That's always one of the top events of the convention, is the golf tournament. But any of the events that were going on, at the various tables, and sometimes there was 5-6 different games being played out, and just hearing people reacting to what's going on, it just was fantastic. And for me, my number 1 highlight of the convention. So I know I've said it several times on the channel, but if you ever get a chance to go out to a play convention, you really should try to. It's so much fun. Such a welcoming environment. As I said, there were 20 new people this year. Also, it was the largest group of people at the convention ever. And they just all sort of came into the fold, and before you knew it, it was like everyone everyone was a veteran or an icon at the event, and was right in the swing of things. So there we go. That is our lead story, the PLAAY.con 2023, a complete success, and I think that I may have finally caught back up on the rest that I missed going overnight in the Denver airport, but completely worth it. So, all right, so moving along to our other stories we are following. Last month we talked about a couple of Kickstarters that were going on, and I am very happy to say that both of these Kickstarters reached their funding goal, and then some. So Book It, the Tag Teams and Title Belts expansion, it hit its goal and unlocked 3 different stretch goals, including a full solo expansion, as well as a reimagining of all the original promotion cards that came in the base set. So there will now be a lot of different promotions that you can pick once you get this expansion. It is on track to ship at the end of this year. And then the other Kickstarter campaign that we were following was the Deadball Masters of the Game expansion. This reached its funding goal, and it has the digital copies have gone out to backers of the game. The physical copies, the last update that I read is the files have been sent to Drive-Thru Games, and that should be available to purchase within the month. It hasn't got an exact date, but I got the impression that it should be within the month. So sometime in September, look to pick up Deadball Masters of the Game, unless you were a backer of this, and then check your email because you have a download for that version of the expansion. All right. In other news, as I alluded to earlier, 49 on the Turf football from Grant Fines at Sports Games, 49 Sports Games is coming out. So this is a reimagining of his previous game. And I did get to play through a quarter of this at the con, and a new take on the American football game. And let's see, it is due to come out. Oh, I just read that the date was here. I think it is coming out sometime this month, but it is up for pre-orders right now. You can see here on the link everything that comes with it. So you get a couple of different team sets, team cards, team charts rather, that come with it. The 76 Oakland and Minnesota squads, 2006 Chicago and Indianapolis, 2017 Philadelphia and New England. I don't know why you'd want to play with those two teams. And then finally the 2021 Rams and Bengals. You also get some Canadian football teams. 81 Edmonton and Ottawa, 2009 Montreal, Saskatchewan, and then a couple of teams, 2017 and then 2021. All those come with the game. So this game has 2 different decks that you'll be referring to. It has full rules in it that you can automate. You can automate the offense, you can automate the defense, you can automate both of them. And you can choose to call plays as detailed or as general and broadly as you want. So a very detailed game, but very quick game to get into kind of once you get the flow of the game. There is a preview video on the pre-order page, and that link is down in the show notes below. All right, and then we actually had some breaking news that came out last night on the PLAAY YouTube channel. The PLAAY Tennis game. This was another one of the events that happened at the convention. There was so much that happened. This didn't even make my top 3, but this was also exciting. We got to play a doubles tournament at the convention. So this was a game. This came out. It was the holiday sale last year, And it has been tweaked just a little bit. If you got the PDF at Christmas, you are probably going to be pretty familiar with everything. Some of the rules have been changed. The cards have been updated, so you can see what the cards look like. And they are absolutely fantastic. They made the decision sort of at the post-con, because I didn't even get to see these while I was there at the PLAAY headquarters. So you can see that the PLAAY cards for the players are a lot bigger than, say, like the History Maker baseball cards. These are more in line with Play Now cards. Think the cards for the President game, the Mr. President, we have a problem. They're about that size. As you can see, full color, really, really sharp. And this game is coming out at the end of this month, August 31st. Link is down in the show notes below. You can put in your email address to get notified as soon as it is released. And there are let's see. There's 3 different sets that are going to be coming out for it. Sorry, there's 4 different sets. There's an all-time greats, the fictional 2023 Tennis Association, Global Men's Stars, as well as a 2023 Tennis Association Global Women's Stars, and then finally 2022 Pro Tennis Stars of the real players. So, and then from here we can also see the other pre-order that is coming up, the 2023, or sorry, it's not a pre-order, it's up as a coming soon. They don't do pre-orders anymore on that. The Pro Baseball in-season card set. This was also shown off on the Play stream last night. So they said that they are going with a classic black and white look. And it is also in the Express format. Oh, sorry. Yes, thank you, James. There's also a how-to guide coming for the tennis. So this is pretty neat. This is one of the sets that I really look forward to every year. So what they do, they cut off the stat tracking at August 1st and then make cards based on what the players have done up through the end of July. And generally, it's pretty close to what their cards end up being when the full season set is released later the following year. And it doesn't show it on here, but I believe that they said that this is going to be coming out at the same time at the end of the month on August 31st. So be sure that you stay tuned for both of those, so tennis and baseball action coming at you from Play. All right. And yes, James, you will be able to play out the Mets season and not trade away everybody. And I'll be able to play out the Red Sox and actually try to make some trades. What a novel concept that you can actually make trades at the deadline. If anybody has Mr. Bloom's email address, please send him a message. All right, so channel updates. So next week I'm actually going to be traveling Monday, and I won't be getting back until sometime Wednesday. So there will not be a Monday night show. Probably will not be a Wednesday night show. But I will have a show scheduled for next Friday. That is the 11th of August at 9 p.m. And I will be playing out a game of On Deck Baseball Pro. And I will be playing against the game designer himself, Ian Brooke. He will be controlling the 1934 Pittsburgh Crawfords. And I will be playing out the 1906 Chicago Cubs. So we will have Satchel Paige taking on three-finger Mordecai Brown. And both of these are available in the History's Best of the Best 1 set. So those are all available for pre-order right now. There is a link. Oh, actually, sorry. There will be a link down in the show notes below. I'll put that up as soon as I get finished here. This was a last-minute ad to the news. But I have talked about this before. pre-orders actually have started to go out. It's still in a pre-order status, but going live very, very soon. So hopefully you can join me next Friday at 9 o'clock for what should be quite a pitcher's duel between Satch and Three Finger Brown. So there we go, guys. That is the news for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. It was pretty cool seeing everybody in the chat room. It was actually almost like a reunion of the convention. So thank you to everybody who joined me. Thank you to all my AFR members. We have had a recent surge in membership, so I appreciate everybody's support for the channel. If you would like to become a member, you can click the join button down below for more details. Please leave a like on your way out the turnstiles. So until next Friday, hope everybody has a great weekend and get out there, have fun, play games, and I will see you after further review. Have a good night, everybody.